All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we are, another Project Healing Waters fly fishing special. Each and every week, we dedicate not 1 but 2 hours, thereabouts, to my local St. Cloud program of Project Healing Waters. Looks like, I don't know, I can't tell if it's actually live streaming or not. Um, so we'll see here. How are things going? We're gonna. Oh, it looks like. Hmm. It's like for whatever reason it's only broadcasting like the upper quarter. Let's see here what it looks like on this. Alright, well, apparently it's just in the monitor on the YouTube side of things. Um, Alright, well, I guess we'll just get by with it being the way it is. Um, Let me know in the chats how I'm looking. How I'm looking. Let me know how I'm looking there. I know I'm looking good. But let me know how the picture quality is, how the audio quality is. I'm always open for some good quality control feedback, etc., etc. I'm going to put that over there. Oh. Hopefully that won't fall. So good evening. How are you? What are we at? We are Wednesday. Is it the 10th? No, it's Wednesday the Wednesday was the 3rd. Is my date off? No, today's the 3rd. Last Wednesday. Okay. Holy smokes. Just kind of giving everybody a few minutes to trickle on in. Feel free to say hi in the chats. Let me know how we're broadcasting. Um, have some homework for us tonight. We're gonna do some a group exercise. Crowdsourcing is what I'm doing. I have to cough again. All right. What we need to crowdsource, what we need to think about tonight. Make sure I got a piece of paper, to write all our good information down, and a pen. So, not too long ago, a few days ago, my friends at the Beaver Island Brewery approached me, and I've taught some fly tying classes out there in the past. And what they are working on with some other outfits is putting together kind of like a co-op adventure box or something like that. There's going to be something from the brewery, something from Adventure Coffee or something like that. Something from Fitzharris Ski and Cycle, geared towards outdoor outfitting, stuff like that. And you pay X amount of dollars, and then you show up and you pick up your box once a month, once a month, and it's got all your rations, or like a growler, or a bag of coffee, etc., etc. And well, the thing is, flies don't necessarily, not all flies necessarily translate well to a quote-unquote conventional tackle. I hate using a normal fisherman because for me, fly fishing is the normal way. But there are things you could do for like ice jigs. So I guess what I'm looking for, let me know in the comments whether you're watching live or watching this tomorrow or days after or whenever. Let me know, excuse me, in the comments. Some good, I'm going to call them a hybrid fly. Something that would transition well both obviously on a fly fishing setup, but something that could be used with something else, right? So like a bead-headed something is going to have just a little bit more mass to it. It's not going to necessarily, you're not going to cast it out and get the distance. But if you got, something with enough weight to it, I think it would be able to get out there. Or, you just add a couple of split shot to the line and you got some streamers. So let me know in the comments or in the chat. I got my piece of paper down. I'm going to write down all of our ideas. And that's because that's my only hang up. If there's like 50 people that get in on these boxes, I have to be able to tie whatever group times 50. So it's like if it's 3 flies per box and there's 50 boxes that people subscribe, well, I got to be able to tie 150 of whatever, perhaps with some variety or something like that. Who knows? Boy, this might be a rough night. I'm so thankful I have the mute button. If I cough in somebody's ear, I apologize tenfold. But man, it's just really dry right now. I hurried up, I cooked dinner, and I got down here and I'm drinking coffee. And coffee's probably not the most conducive thing for the jibber jabber. But let's tie some flies tonight. Tonight I'm going to be just doing some soft hackles, some bead head soft hackles to be precise. Super simple, super low key. But let me know in the comments or in the chat what's going on. How you doing? How you doing? So I'm going to spin myself around and get the camera switched over. There we go. I love being able to do that. From that to the green screen, and let there be light. I gotta move my coffee over though. Alright. Let's get this party started. Alright, so tonight I'm going to be using some size 12. They call them like a nymph streamer hook. Not too big, not too small. I think this is just going to be fantastic for some panfish or some smaller bass and whatnot. Alright, we got this wonderful vise, so we're going to use it to our advantage. And for beads, 2.7 millimeter gold tungsten. How about that? Let's get some weight into this operation. And I decided to, look at that, I preloaded all my little beads. I'm a little bead helper. So with that, you just bop, bop, bop. And we got a swing and a miss. I felt so cool there for a second. But this is live streaming for us. Alright, so we'll get the bead and the hook. And we'll do a hokey pokey and we'll turn ourselves around. And the thread I'm going to be using tonight, some Vivas 10-aught. Super strong for its size. Otherwise I'd probably go with like an 8-aught uni thread. We'll start right behind the bead. And just like that, we'll trim off our tag end. Alright, I want to add a gold wire. Where'd my gold wire go? There it is. Just a fine gold wire. Nothing fancy, except it's a fine gold wire. I like to poke it in just a little bit so it goes into that bead. But I want to make sure it's not poking all the way out. And I'll just work my way front to back, keeping this on the near side of the hook. I think that'll work. Alright, and this is a simple soft tackle. So, we know the keep it simple principle. Keep it simple, stupid. wax our line here. A little low tack wax. This Vivas thread, I think it really needs it. It's relatively dry. Alright, so I'm going to just do a basic dubbing body. The dubbing I'm going to be starting off with, I got a couple different colors of this. It's called a leech dub, but just because it's called a leech dub doesn't mean you have to only use it for leeches. And there's a fly out there. Look up the carrot, C-A-R-R-O-T. I guess that's kind of what this is loosely inspired off of. But anyways, just a little pinch of dub. Less is more or less. And we'll just stretch that out over our thread and start giving it the old twisteroo. And when we do our dubbing, we want to pinch and roll, pinch and roll. We're not twisting it like this. It's a one direction. Okay? Get the dubbing going. There we go. Nice and tight at the back end, and I'm going to build up a little bit of a taper. So I'm probably going to have to add some more dubbing. Yeah. I'll give it another little application of wax there. And another little light rounded dub. Use both hands when you're doing your dubbing. I like to just kind of give it a little tap with the back hand. Just really to make sure it's, I don't know, it's bound on the nice and tight. And it's a size 12, not a size 20. So we can be a little bit more generous, especially up in this front half. I want to build up that bulk pretty good. And we'll go right up to just behind that bead. In fact, I'm going to go just a one. Nope, we're going to leave it at that. Keep it sparse. Okay. Soft tackle. Can't be a soft tackle without the soft hackle, right? And this is a kind of a yellowish, orangish dyed hen hackle. Kind of compare it to a regular. So this is predominantly just your regular traditional grizzly hackle, and this is kind of a yellowish dyed, orangish dyed grizzly hackle, and I just thought this would look pretty neat on this one. So pick a feather. Let's go with this one. First thing I like to do is just strip off all the fluff. Just get that out of the way. You know, it's one of those things that you do, you just, I don't know. Does it need to be done? Maybe, maybe not. But it's out of the way. And I'm going to start looking at this hackle. It's way too big on that end. And I don't necessarily want to tie it in by the tippity top. The tip. Probably right about there. And this is the top side of the feather. There's the back side. Top side out. Tied it in by the tip. Oh, wait a minute. Before I do that, I want to do my my wire. Gotta do my wire ribbing. I'm going to do this as counter wraps. I'm going to do this as a couple of turns right there at the rear. And I'm going to do these relatively close. And this will just kind of help keep that all together. And we'll go right behind that bead head. Lock that off. I don't really build up the bulk behind that bead head right away, because I think if you do, you end up with just way too much thread. Up front, go ahead and clear that wire out of the way. I'll put that in a spot where I'm going to absolutely forget where I put it next time. Alright, let's go ahead and tie this in. I like to go in at a little angle. Here we go. And it's gonna bump off of that bead if you're lucky. Kind of give you a funky little twist, but trim off the tip. Set your watches. And at this point you could use Hackle pliers or not. It's up to you really. But we're going to do our best to keep these fibers folded towards the rear. And usually it's just kind of an easy 1, 2, 3, but you know, it really depends on your taste and it depends on the hackle. So I'm going to give that a 1, 2, 3, 4 full turns. Lock that off. And there we have it. And one last little touch I want to put on this. I think this is just the kind of little nice little touch on this is a little red collar. I guess I could use red thread. That I guess would be a little bit too easy. I'll finish it off with a whip finish. 1, 2, 3. And I really like that. I think that is a sharp little bead-headed soft hackle. Nice and clean. I like that. Alright, let's add a little dab of insurance policy. Let's add my little friend Sally Hansen's. Little dabble dubbas, that's all we need. And we'll go right off of the brush onto Mr. Bodkin. There you have it. And let's just let that soak right on in, and all is well. What do we think? Questions, comments? Let me know what's going on in the chat. Alright, we got James in the house. Hey, hey, hey. We got Steve, good evening. And good evening, Ben. Not going to stay long. The battery is low. Well, 19 minutes in and we got our first fly done. So, hopefully you were able to stick around. You can always watch these after the fact. That's, I think, one of the best parts. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. Hit that like. Let me know. Show your love. Let's put a cork in it. So we got a few more. We got about 10 of us in right now. I'll throw my my little plea to the masses. I'm crowdsourcing. I'm trying to get your ideas. I'm going to be putting together these little boxes or contributing to kind of like a co-op box, adventure box, and I need to be able to present some flies that are not just 100% just for fly fishing. You know, so it's like dry flies are almost out of the question. I almost got to think Minnesota, panfish, bass, something that we could somewhat hybrid translate to the conventional quote-unquote world. You know, I don't know, is it just a matter of just adding a ton of weight to it? I mean, is it just a heavy woolly bugger? I don't know. But before I get into it, I want to be able to get some ideas from you guys. Tonight we're using that size 12 that's labeled, I got it labeled as a nymph streamer hook. Moonlit, what is that? ML054. And everything's going to be moonlit tonight mostly. We're also going to be using some moonlit tungsten beads, 20 tungsten beads, 2.7 millimeters. That's Mike's. Mike. The marker, while Ben is still here, I'm gonna. The marker I use is a Pro marker, and I love the poppy, little poppy red. It's alcohol based. There we go, alcohol based, and there's the barcode. Poppy red. It's not a cheap marker. These are like remortgage your home, sell your bicycle to get one. Can you use any marker type other than those are water? Yeah, I mean more or less. I mean they're all gonna wash off at a different rate, I would suppose. So let's get our 2.7 millimeter bead. Just pop it past that, and bada boom, bada bing. When we do our beads, you just want to make sure the wider of the openings after it's in and on the fly is towards the rear. You want the tight end. You want tight in the front and loose in the rear, for what it's worth. You know, I don't know. Senior guys, Dave, Steve, what do you guys think about Sharpies and coloring of threads and such? I've always only used these. I don't know why, but something told me at one point to use that, and that's what I've been using ever since. I think that's maybe because that's what the Copic marker system is all about. I'm not sure. Alright, let's do another one. And the thread I'm using, it's white. You know, it's like if you have the markers, you don't have to buy colored thread, because for the most part, your thread is always going to be buried underneath, and you just only really expose it on the final whip finish. Alright, fine gold wire, let's just ramrod that in there. You want to make sure it's not poking out the front. Just tuck that in just a little bit, and that's it. Work our way to the rear. Also, while we have, wow, 11 watching. Also in the comments, or in the chat, here's something else I've been looking at. All right, I've been looking at fishing kayaks, and specifically, I've been looking at the Jackson Mayfly. It's a little bit on the pricey end, I guess, and for me, it's like super expensive. It's about $2,000, and then you got to get paddle and a PFD and this and that, and by the time you get everything all rigged up, you're $2,500 in the hole. But I think that's the way I'm going to go to get myself up and down the river. It's got a little wide stance. It's very minimalistic for it's built for fly fishing. But if anybody has any advice on fly fishing kayaks, I'd love to hear your thoughts, opinions, experience. Do it, don't do it, because I'm looking at my inflatable, at least my inflatable, and holy smokes, it just seems like it's a lot of worry and maintenance for me, at least the way I end up working on things. Let's use this hot orange dubbing once again. So Dave says, yeah, go ahead, use those. Use the Sharpies. Doesn't see why they wouldn't work. Haven't used them though. Let's see, what do we got here? 2.7 millimeter bead. 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 2.7 millimeter Steve agrees with, he's used to the Sharpies, but Copics are the way to go. And I picked up my markers. I get those at a local place to us called Crafts Direct. If you go in there with the right coupon, you can really save. All right, nice dubbing noodle. Look at that. Wow. Okay, so I'm going to take a couple of wraps, not quite at the rear, and then once my dubbing makes contact, then I'll swing it to the rear. Just that way I don't end up with just this nice little bump of thread. And we're going to taper this up. We're probably going to have to stop about halfway once again, possibly to add a little bit more dubbing. I want to just keep that nice and tight. Probably not. I don't know. And I like the nice, yeah. I think that turned out just the right amount. See, there we go, Ben. You might have a low battery, but we've got answers and opinions and experience. And is there any one right way? And we know the answer. There's never one way to do it. It's different strokes for different folks. But over the years, I've learned that I can look over my shoulder or look over on the other side of the river, see what other people are doing and make sense of it because it makes sense. I like to I love freestyling and, trying to do my own thing and, create and recreate and, but sometimes things don't necessarily need to be reworked when they've already been reworked time and time again. So yeah, I mean, and that's the thing is this is the time and the venue to ask those questions, because I will always have a thought or a little bit of an opinion on it. Here's our little tan kind of oatmeal brown grizzly hen hackle. Here's that color compared to a regular. It's like you really can't, I don't know, it's hard to really see until you compare it to something. But we're going to just strip this fuzz out of the way because that's the thing to do. It's going to be our working handle. Got to have a nice clean handle. So Steve says he has had some bad experience with some offbeat brand art markers. Ron's, yeah. An Old Town Predator. James, is that your kayak? Old Town Predator. I'm going to write that down. Hold on. You're not going to see my hands because I'm writing something down. Old Town Predator. Yeah. But the idea how I see myself using this this kayak is obviously to get down the Mississippi River and hit our holes. But I really want to be able to maneuver in some of the smaller lakes and do some fishing out of that. And it's like if you're in the right spot, they're sturdy enough to stand up in. So, they have a higher seat. They're really hard to rock and knock over from what I'm able to tell, and it's made of plastic. So I see something that's made out of plastic like that, and I see very, very minimal maintenance. That's my that's my thinking. And I turned 40 in April. Why not, right? It's hackle time. You guys or gals are going to be sitting at a restaurant someday in the future, and you're going to hear a ding ding, and your brain is going to go nuts. You're going to say, it's hackle time. Alright, let's be thoughtful here. Let's go maybe one more turn. Yeah. I think that's going to be it. Uh-oh. Bzz, bzz. No idea what that comes from, because I have everything else should be turned off on my phone. But who knows? Alright, where'd my marker go? A little dab of red, and we can put this bad boy to bed. This will give us just a little bit of a red collar on that too. Let's make sure we pinch everything back. Keep hooking myself. I got one hackle fiber. There we go. One barbule hanging out. You will comply. All right. And a little dab of head cement, and this will be GTG. You know what that is? That's good to go, don't you know? Head cement. Where'd you go, Sally? Here she is. A little dab of secret sauce right on top. Help lock that in. Because owning anything is never simple, because it's just like, it's not just the kayak. It's like you got to get the kayak, and then you got to, like I said, you got to get the PFD that, you know, fits right because you're sitting in that seat the certain way, and wheels to help roll it around because you don't want to carry it because it's a big, I don't know, I think it weighs like almost 90 pounds. But I don't know. I think that turned out pretty nifty. Let me zoom in a little bit on that bad boy. Ouch. Oh, it's a pedal drive, sit on top, super stable. See, the thing about the pedal drives is, one of the things I was thinking about the pedal drives is, how do those work with under submersible objects? You know, some of the spots we slip through around the Beaver Islands, it gets a little tight. I don't know about having a big old prop underneath there. I don't know. Alright, we'll zoom in a little bit there. I was looking at the Hobie. Oh my goodness. Man, if money was not an object, I'd get the Hobie whatever 360 something or another. It's got this weird kind of, I don't know, flipper drive. It goes like this. Alright. I think I know what this bad boy needs. I think we're going to add that to this next one. Let's add you to our little collection. We'll have to do you dip down. So I got some cross-country skiing in today, which is good. Got to do some of the Greystone ski area over by the state penitentiary over here in town. And boy, oh boy, I took the wrong turn early on and got on the wrong loop. Now, I'm not a very experienced Nordic skier, and I do the classic Nordic ski, right? So I'm just normally swoosh swooshing my way along, and there's the skate skis, and they go diagonally. And I found myself on the hilltop loop. Boy, oh boy, it was a lot of work going up and going down. I have my little GPS with me, and my max speed was like 23 miles an hour, which is, jeez. All right, here we are, size 12. We're going to do one more with this dubbing, and then we're going to switch dubs. Bingo. 2.7 is the millimeter size on this gold tungsten bead. There we go. A little bag, 2.7. Alright, let's start our thread right behind the bead. And again, I'm not a big fan of having to lock the bead in right away, because, I mean, honestly, after you get the wire in, the dubbing in, the hackle in, why should that bead slip off the back? If it's sliding off the back after that, then you need to slow your cast down. Alright, let's tie this in on the side, just a little bit into that bead area. And I like to just run it down the side. Alright, here's a little red crystal flash. Some good old KF3. There, don't you know? One strand is all you need. Because we're going to fold it in half and double it. Now we got two little pieces. Let's fold it again. Four little pieces. You know what? I think that just might be us. I want to do just 4. I think so. So let's measure that out, hook's length. We might trim that down a little bit later. Do we want to do 4? I think so. Yeah, we're going to trim most of that down and off here in a second. Once that's locked in, let's get our dubbing on. A little bit of wax that line. And it's just a low tack wax. Look out, it's in 3D. And the dubbing is a hot orange. It's a leech dub. They say it's a leech dub, but we're going to use it for something. Alright. Let's go ahead and... The one I'm looking at, the kayak I'm looking at, the Jackson Mayfly, it's got integrated fly rod holders, and it's very open. There's like it's very minimal, very minimalistic, so you don't got hardly anything to catch your fly line on. And I see some people are able to mount anchor trolley systems, and they got, you know, $500. Oh my gosh, talk about, you know, if I had it my way right away anyway. Oh my gosh, they got these $500 power poles that stick on the back, and you got a 8-foot fiberglass or aluminum rod that at a flip of a button stabs into the lake bed, presumably, or ocean bed, or whatever bed you're fishing on, and that's your instant anchor. I don't know. I'm not don't know much about kayaks yet, but there's only one way to find out, and that's to get into one. I'm gonna call our good friends at Clearwater Outfitters, just downriver of us here in St. Cloud. They seem to be pretty reputable and knowledgeable of everything, most things river related. I also run the shuttle service in our area, so I don't know. They might have a deal. You spend $2,000, you get a free ride. Your first ride's free. I don't know. That would be nice. You know, I am going to trim these back just a little bit. I do want them to display out though. Nice little small tail. Remember, it's sparse. Sparse is what? Sparse is narce. Sparse is narce. Alright, we got our little off-colored grizzly hackle. Soft hackle. Hen hackle. This is going to be our handle. Clear that out of the way. Alright, top side out, tip side forward. Tie it in by the tip. And we'll just trim that off. All right. Yo, it's hackle time. All right, let's do this. Let's go once. That's twice. That's going to be our third time all the way around. And enough is enough. Lock it off. Don't be a fool. Clean that up with a couple of turns. Alright, we got Jess in the house saying hackle time. How'd that sauce come out for us? Is that a good sauce? I made some good homemade Parmesan Alfredo sauce. Rocking it. Homemade style. Homemade sauce is always the best sauce, I think. Unless you got a thing for ragu. Alright, little red marker. This will give us a little red collar. Couple of turns. And then we'll whip finish this bad boy off. If I can find my whip finish tool. There we go. I like it. All right, James, I will most definitely I'll look that up, the Old Town Predator, and I'll give you a call for sure. If nothing else, just shoot the marbles. Jess says yum yum. All right, little dab of secret sauce, and we will be GTG, good to go, or RTF. This will be RTF. Any guesses on what RTF stands for? I love making up acronyms. Half the time they're just made up. RTF. If he said ready to fish, he would be correct. There we go. I like it. I like it a lot. Next. I like adding a little bit of red crystal flash. So there it is with the crystal flash, little red KF, little KF3, and there's some just plain Janes without it. But nice buggy looking hackle, or not hackle, but a nice buggy looking body, and just a soft hackle. And gold wire. We like gold wire. See, the thing about researching things now online is this is like you research one thing, and then just because you Googled it once, the internet wants you to buy nothing else. It's like that's the first thing you Googled. We're going to continue to just influence you and promote everything we can, showing it in front of you time and time again to see. I don't know. It comes up in every ad and this and that, and it almost never ends. Size 12. What do you know? We're going to switch this up just a little bit. We're going to do a different color. Different color dub, but everything else will remain the same. Let's get our bead in. 2.7 millimeters. Is the bead size. Gold and tungsten. Is it gold? Yes. Is it tungsten? Also yes. How's that possible? What kind of metallurgy, alchemy, hibbity jibbity do we got going on here? I don't know. 10-aught, white thread. Just start right behind the bead. Give it a little tug. I always give my tag end just a little tug, just to kind of cinch it. And you can sometimes, if you're quiet enough and you're still enough, you can feel it just cinch right in. Alright, let's get in with our gold wire. And you can go ahead and poke it all the way through if you want. Do a wrap or two and then just slowly slide it back until it's the termination of it is within the bead head. I like to tie that wire on the near side. And we'll just set that out of the way for now. Bop, bop, bop. Red crystal flash again. We like that. One strand is all you need. Cut the corner of your crystal flash bags. Alright, just one corner. If I learned nothing from our good friend Dave Coleman, this has got to be one of the most valuable inexpensive fly tying life hacks. I mean, I wouldn't do that any other way. Let's take our flash, that's once. We'll take our flash, we'll fold it over twice. And now we got not one, not two, not three, but four. 4 pieces of flash. We're going to trim it to length here. I want to make sure it stays on top. Yeah, I like the sparseness of just 4 strands. Has a good feel to it. And we'll trim these back ones to length here in a minute. Alright, we're going to switch the color just a little bit. We did some of that orange. It's another good citrus flavor. Lime. This has got some good color behind it too. Again, they call it a leech dub, but guess what, Buttercup? This ain't a leech. Far from it. Let's get this lime. Pretty ratty. I can really see if this were really picked out and brushed out on as like in a dubbing loop, and then velcroed out, teased out. Boy, this would be absolutely hot as a leech dub. But we're interested in just this wonderful little lime color. I got way too much on there. We'll take that last little bit off. Alright, once our dubbing makes contact, we'll quick sneak it all the way to the rear. And then we'll build a slow, gradual taper. Maybe a little bit more. A wee bit more dub. Which means just a little bit more wax. Alright, right behind that bead. Good to go. We'll wrap our wire opposite as our dubbing. We'll do counter wraps, and I like doing this relatively tight. Well, always tight, but spacing isn't too far out. Take this right behind that bead, and we'll lock that bad boy off. You know where that wire's going? Nowhere, that's where. Alright. I really like that. Nice little basic, simple, clean tail. Let's pick out a hackle for this. You know, I was thinking about doing something bright, but you know what? I think would look just as... Ooh. So here is, it's almost a solid brown, but she's got some iridescent sheen to it. And it was dyed kind of this lemony yellow. Clean off the bottom, because that's going to be our little working handle. I think this might be us right here. We'll go right down to the tip. Top side out, tip side forward. I like to use my thumb as a balance point for my scissors. Do you do that? Ouch! Just hit my head on the light. Oh boy. grab this with the Hackle pliers just to make it a little bit easier on myself. I think that's it. I like that. I like that green. That lime. I like that orange. I like the lime. I think I really like the way this is working its way out. I'm looking for that marker again. I keep setting it down at a place where I would most definitely not lose it. But then I lose it every time. Alright. A few wraps around there. And we'll finish. Oops. See, almost in a general sense, the white thread, it almost ties as if it's clear or invisible, translucent. I don't know. Let's add a little dab of head cement, and this one will be ready to go. Bada boom, bada bing, bada bing, bada boom. We'll do another one with this dubbing, and then we're going to switch dubbing. I got one more color I want to try. Actually, we got a couple of colors we could go with. But I really like the way this lime came out. And I most definitely like adding that little crystal flash for the tail. Here we go. You know where that's going? In the water. That's where we're going to send it. Yeah, buddy. So there's... kind of has two different feels to it. So far, which one's your favorite? Green or orange? Boy, it's tough to say. I mean, if I was a fish, I'd hit either one, but... Alright, let's keep on keeping on. What do we got? We're at 7 o'clock. It's 19 hundo hours. Size 12. Barbless hook. And get our bead on. 2.7 millimeter is the bead. There's the package. Any fly requests for next week? What do we got cooking for next week? It'll be February 10th. That'll be, I don't know, we could try to come up with something for Valentine's Day. I don't know. Valentine's special. I don't know. Valentine's Day's on Sunday. We're like hump day, the furthest day. Can't get much further away from Valentine's Day. Let's make sure it doesn't stick out past the bead. And we'll just work our way from front to rear. And our crystal flash. I like adding this crystal flash. Oh yeah, the fish will definitely make the ultimate decision. Let's go ahead and fish out a crystal flash. And just like that, one strand will feed the 5,000 and become 4. All right. We are ready to add some dubbing. Do that in 3D. Alright, we're going to do the line one more time. I really want to kind of prepare this dubbing, just kind of pick it out. Little dabble W. Sparse as narce. Less is more or less. And then we'll just start working our way forward. Nice and even, slightly tapered. That'll service us just fine. Alright, we'll just run this wire nice and carefully as a counter wrap. Nice ribbing. There we go. Alright, now we got a good eye on this. Let's go ahead and trim our tail. Right about there. Grab our hen hackle. Let's kind of strip off the bottom to give yourself something nice and easy and clean to grab onto and work with. Top side out, tip side forward. Go ahead and just trim off the tip, get that out of the way. And when we do our hackle, we just want to keep the top side forward as best as we can. Fold the fibers back and down, out of the way. And that's it. We're getting into, I think these barbs are getting a little bit too big, getting a little squirrely. And a little red collar. Little dab of red up front, little dab of red at the rear. Fish will see that and just instantly, not even hesitate. Think about possibly coming over to your fly, checking it out. I mean, I don't know. Who cares what your fly looks like? If the fish hits it out of pity, yeah, so what? He hit it. Alright, little dab of head cement. And we're going to use some of the secret sauce. Sally Hansen's, aka the good stuff. There you go. Got a little bit of a tag in on that thread sticking out, but I'm not going to worry about it. Don't lose any sleep on that one. Alright. I like that olive, or that lime. Oh. I did like that orange. Alright, we're going to transition on to another color. I think for that one we're just going to use our plain natural grizzly hackle. But we might have to use a different patch. Get just the right size. Got more grizzly hen hackle than I know what to do with. Yeah, this will be it right here. Alright, so let's see here. Size 12. bead 2.7. That's what we got matched up. Size 12, 2.7 gold. Uh-oh. I can't see the picture message yet, Jim. I use my phone for my my camera. But I will most definitely check you out here after this. How about that? Start with our white thread. It's a 10-aught, but it's a strong 10-aught. That's what I really like about this Vivus. Pretty beefy stuff for its size. And I'll just stick with that same gold, fine gold wire. Tie that in front to rear. Here we go. Little red crystal flash. Just like that, sneak one piece out. One strand, we'll divide that down to 4. It doesn't really matter where you tie that in as far as length, because we're going to trim to length here at the back end. I like going up a little bit just to make sure it's secured. Alright, let's go ahead and add a little touch of wax. Wax the line. I'm just using a low tack hairline dubbing low tack wax. You know, it's just it's such a big tube. It's just, I don't know, I really don't ever foresee myself using it all ever. Alright, I really like this leech dub. I haven't experimented much with it yet. Check this stuff out. This is some purple haze. Maybe we should have went with the silver wire. Or you know what, we're going to save the purple haze for another one. We're going to do that one. We're going to just go with the purple. Purple pop. Yeah, buddy. It's got some purple in it, some blue in it. We like that. I'll kind of rough this up just a little bit more. Nice tight dubbing noodle. Oh boy, I like that purple. Bring our wire up. I don't know. I mean, I know some people have had a lot of success with the color purple. I know a lot of people, their favorite color is purple. So we'll see what the fish think. Let's just do a plain grizzly soft hackle here. Strip off the base of the feather, just make it a little easy. Purple and silver is a good walleye color. Nice. See, it hits that bead and it's like a brick wall. Just pops that forward. One, two, three. That's all you need. Yeah, buddy. I like that. I like that purple. I think we're going to do one of those though, because I'm going to pull out this other. We did this one, this one, this one. I really like the orange. I started with that one because I think that's probably gonna, I don't know. It just looks very productive. And then that olive, it really looks good. And then this purple one just looks awesome too. So I'll add our red marker to our collar, our thread. Just a couple of turns on top. Enough to get to the whip finish. You just want to have enough marker on the thread to do a couple of turns. I'm actually getting some marker on my whip finish tool, but that's alright. Alright, let's add our head cement. There we go. I like purple. So that was the purple. This is the purple pop, as they call it. And I'm going to set these into this tray. And we'll just keep one of each. So there's our orange, our green, our lime, Ooh, 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 ooh. I think this might be actually the golden ticket. This is an olive copper. Look at that. Kind of a, not quite orange, but a little bit of a rusty, little rusty color. My wife found the Valentine's fly. What was the Valentine's fly? Did we tie a Valentine's fly last year? I don't remember. Then again, I don't remember much of yesterday. Let's take a sip of coffee. Well, thanks for tuning in, Ken. Good to see you tonight. Hello all the way from Japan. Alright, let's do hooks, hooks, hooks. I always show the hooks. I mean, I know a lot of us have been here since right away, but if we're just tuning in, or if you're watching this later and skipping around, you might not catch what size hook we're using or whatnot. Same with the bead, 2.7. I love it. I love it. Oh, and for my my Minnesota audience, if you haven't caught it yet, or saw yet, not caught it. I don't mean to catch it yet, but the Minnesota Great Water Fly Fishing Expo 2021 has been canceled. It's 2 years in a row, no Fly Expo, which is it's crazy. It's crazy to think that it was all supposed to just disappear, but we're all in the same boat. I don't know. I hate that we're all in the same boat. We're all in the same storm. We're all in different boats. But we can always be good maritime neighbors in different boats, helping each other out. I don't know why I did that. You can tell I'm getting tired. Gotta get our wire in there first. I always like getting my wire in early on in the process. I like it being close to the shank of the hook. Because what's gonna hold everything on the outside, I believe, should grasp tightly on from the inside. Oh my goodness, I've got flies and hoppers and poppers falling on me. I hang some of my flies above me. Alright, where are we at? We're going to do our crystal flash. We already trimmed that off. 1, 2, 3, 4 strands. Just make sure it stays on top more or less. Alright. This is the same style of dubbing, just different color. This is an olive copper, which is different than that hot orange. This has got some olive and orange hue to it. We'll make our little dubbing noodle. Touch of the wax first. And just twist that on. Nice tight dubbing noodle. Alright, we'll get ourselves situated at the rear, and then we'll just taper our way forward. It's almost kind of, what did I say, this was a olive copper. Kind of has a caramel apple feel to it. Not feel, but you know what I mean. An essence. I can never really tell exactly how it comes through on the camera. You know, individual results may vary. Void where prohibited, not available in all stores. But I always try to post, if you're on Instagram, if anybody follows along on Instagram, all tied up fly tying school. I always post pictures of my flies, usually some nice good close-ups. Sometimes I use a filter, most times I don't. But it's a good way to crop and edit. It's kind of like my Photoshop is Instagram. How about this? This is a nice little, I believe they call this a Coachman brown. Yeah, that'll be just fine. Fine. Be careful near the tip, that's pretty fragile up front there. This one. This might be my next new favorite. little dab of red marker, and we will be good to go on this bad boy. I like this one. Whenever I'm pulling straight towards myself, I always like to put my thumb. I usually catch the eye of the hook with my thumbnail. Give myself something to push up it against. I mean, I trust the vise, but I'd rather not bend the hook going into do a whip finish. Alright, a little dab of Shelly Hansen's and we'll be ready to go. I'm gonna definitely crank out a few more of these with this color combination. This is on fire right here. Yeah, I like it. Alright, hold on 1 second, folks. Alright, let's go ahead and get one more in. Got a couple more to go. We'll do 2 more after this. But I am going to go bananas with this color. I'm going to leave this one out. I really like this copper olive. I think thus far, I think that might be my golden ticket. Good old size 12. And we'll find our gold beads. There they are. I love this thing. Just slide the bead. Too easy. 2.7. millimeter. You know, I was thinking about, let's see, 2.7 millimeter. That's close to 7/64. You know, I read somewhere it's like, hey, parents, if you're trying to teach your kids fractions, use a tape measure. Yada, 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 yada. Except every time after, like, elementary school, you have to deal with fractions, they always give you some, like, 5/9 or something like that. And they're like, no, you have to express it in fraction form. It's like, yeah, but what in the world is 5/9? I've never heard of that. I'm a base 10 decimal system kind of guy. I don't know. Millimeters, inches. I really like the metric system. It makes sense to me. There's a lot of things we do here in the U.S. that just, I don't know why we do it that way. Hey, well, what am I going to say about it? Who am I to change the system? I know I've asked it before, but it's like that saying goes, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of pain. Well, in the metric system, is it a gram of prevention is a kilogram of pain? Let's get our crystal flash, not once, not twice, not thrice, but 4 times. Yeah, buddy. Alright. Let's find our wax. Now I think tonight, now we're going to do we'll do the purple haze one next. This has got some silver in it. Nice tight dummy noodle. Yeah, just a little bit more. Wah, wah. Alright, that should work. We'll run our ribbing forward. Relatively close. About a bead, about eyes width apart. Eye of the hook for a width, for spacing. Really just kind of disappears. You don't want, the ribbing is not so much a visual with this as it is a structural load-bearing wall piece, if you will. Alright, I think this will just go with a regular grizzly hackle. A natural. Usually do, I don't know, 2-3 wraps behind, and then that's it. If it's not super secured after 2-3 wraps, You need to work on your thread tension, my friend. This one's getting a little scruffy on me. Yeah. This is another one of those nice ones. And this might be better with a black tungsten bead opposed to a gold. But I like the gold up front. Purple and gold always looks good. It's almost like a Minnesota Vikings football team color. Purple and gold. This was the Purple Haze. Without Googling, who can tell me Jimi Hendrix's middle name? Anybody? James blank Hendrix. I know this because I'm a big Hendrix fan. Always have been. In fact, one of my first car was a 1978 Oldsmobile Delta 98 two-door behemoth of a monster. Had a 4-something in it for an engine, and I remember in the back window I had a window sticker, and it was the Jimi Hendrix Experience head, so it was like this big afro head, and it said Jimi Hendrix on it. Well, when cars would go behind me, when the headlights hit the back window at a certain angle, it would cast a shadow onto the rearview mirror, and it was almost like I had Jimmy himself riding on the dashboard, riding in the rearview. High school days, man. Oh, that car was a beast. Gotta love the first cars. It's crazy to think some people pay more for their waders today than I did my first car back in, I don't know, when was my first car? 97, 96, 1997, 1996, somewhere about there. I like that one. I like the Purple Haze with the little bit of silver in there. Got time for one more. And this will be, for whatever reason, we got a couple extra colors in the purple realm. So there's that Purple Haze we just tied. The hot orange, the lime, the purple pop, and the copper, rusty copper. We got one last one to do, and that's going to be a lavender. We'll see what the difference is. Alright, so let's see. Nobody knows Jimmy's middle name. It's Marshall, James Marshall Hendrix. And if you ever forget, just remember he typically played on Marshall amplifiers. Typically. Woodstock performance. The Fender Strat was an Olympic white. I know this because I have a tribute Fender reissue. Which is crazy because just last March, as the pandemic was really hit, I was really looking forward to plugging in the guitar and really getting deep into playing some music. But then at the same time, my wife got sent home from work to work from home. And what's the point of a 4x12 amplifier, 12-inch speaker amplifier? I don't know how many watt that is. I don't know. 200? I think it's a 200 watt. But I was ready to just start cranking out some going deaf playing, you know. Nope. Can't do that. She's outside or upstairs working. Oh well. The day will come where I will be able to rock out loud in the house once again without disturbing. I mean, yeah, there's days off and time when she's not working, but when she's not working, I want to be with her. Been very blessed being stuck in the house with my wife. It's stressful. I mean, everybody has their ups and downs, and we've had our arguments. Who hasn't? Being such close quarters for the last year, basically. And you know, if it doesn't break you, it builds you together, I suppose. We'll keep telling ourselves that. I don't know why I keep doing that first. I need to get my wire in. Well, my neighbors across the street are in a band. They have a band, which is interesting because I've never heard them from outside. I mean, I've heard them play. I've listened to them. Been invited over pre-COVID. It's crazy. I saw a commercial, and it was like where you see the normal disclosure, whatever, don't blame us for nothing. At the bottom, it said this advertisement was filmed pre-COVID-19. Because it was just a whole bunch of people whining and dining and having a good time outdoors, and you know, it was like, I don't know. It's like watching an old Criminal Minds or CSI Miami, and it's like, why don't you just use your cell phone and call? It's like they don't have cell phones yet, or they have cell phones, but they don't have smartphones. They can't just Google things and look things up or whatever. I don't know. Let's try this purple or this lavender. Looks like this has got some hints of red in there. A little lavender, a little red. I don't think it's going to be quite as much pop as the purple pop, but how much do you expect the lavender to pop when you got a thing right next to it called purple pop? What's your favorite flavor? Kool-Aid? Purple. It's like, what do you mean purple's not a flavor? What about orange? Colors can be flavors. All right. Nice and tight. Sometimes you just gotta take a little pause, make sure it's winding up right. Yeah, I like that. Secure anchor it down with our gold wire. You can really see how it goes from a nice puff to, I like it nice and tight and dense, compact. Alright, we'll just go with our typical standard grizzly hen hackle. Clear off all the junk. It's going to be our handle here in a minute. It's hackle time. I'm just going to do that one too. Doesn't have to be super dense. With our hackle, we like to keep it sparse. I mean, my neighbors on one side, absolutely love them. They have just been nothing but great neighbors. We talk all the time, chat back and forth. I take care of their driveway. You know, they always let us know when they're coming and going for weekends or extended time away. Keep an eye on the house. I don't know exactly what I'll do, but other than call the cops if it's being broken into or call the fire department if it's on fire. Other neighbor just doesn't talk much, keeps to himself, which is alright. Quiet neighbors are good neighbors too. I like my neighbors across the street. I don't know, I'm a nosy guy. I always like, not that I'm in my neighbor's business, but I believe in order for a good community, you have to know your neighbors. You don't have to know them, but I mean, I don't know, at least know their names somewhat. Recognize them, wave to them, be kind. A little bit of kindness goes a long, long way. I do my kind deeds without being asked most of the time. Like hitting a driveway with a snow blower, and then the kindness comes back with beverages on the front porch, waiting for you as a thank you. All right. We're going to put this extra one back in, because then we can have the full spread on the cork. Alright, so there we have. Let me get this set up. We'll do a little close up. Get him out of the way. Alright, so this is lavender. We've got purple haze. This is the hot orange, lime, purple pop, and the copper olive. Which one's your favorite? My personal favorite color combination is this one right here, the copper olive with that Coachman brown Hackle, and I really like the lime, and I really like this these last two purple ones, purple haze and the lavender. But I'm anxious to get each and every one of these in the water. Fish it. Quit wishing and start fishing. That's the slogan at the Chicago Fly Fishing Outfitters. I got their bumper sticker. Quit wishing, start fishing. I should stick that on something, get it off my wall. But that took us all of 2 hours. How many did we tie? We tied, I don't even know where my 2, 4, 6, 8, 7, 8, 9. Well, I think that was a fun time. I had a good time tonight. Let me know what you want to tie next week. Give me some ideas. Also, I'm doing that little kind of crowdsourcing idea mindstorm for some hybrid flies, something that will be good both as a fly for fly fishing on a fly rod, and something that might be able to transition well onto conventional gear, maybe with some split shot or some added weights or something. I don't know. Let me know in the comments. I love comments. Be sure to hit that thumbs up, smash that like button, hit subscribe. There's a little alarm bell, the Hackle bell. Click on that to get the notifications that when I go live. We do this every Wednesday, rain or shine, and we also have a Monday morning live stream kind of geared towards the Japanese style-ish kabari feel of flies, which is kind of like this, but different. Hackle goes the other way. So yeah, hey, anytime, Josh. Thank you all for tuning in. Pete, Steve, Dave. Who else did we have tonight? Ken, James. We had Ben in the house. Everybody was here tonight. We're all here because we're not all there. I'll tell you that for free. But yeah, thank you for tuning in. Hope you picked up an idea or two for a soft hackle, or at least you know what soft hackles look like. Yeah, join me next week, or actually no, join me this Monday. Will be my next live stream. Thank you all for tuning in. Happy tying, everybody. Tight line. Stay healthy, everybody. Please stay safe. Be kind. Rewind. Peace.